So let me share with you about what NeuroGraphica is and why it actually works. Whether you already draw, journal, meditate, or simply searching for clarity, what you're about to experience can transform the way that you listen to yourself and move through life and work. Imagine for a moment that you could take everything swirling in your head, the questions, the doubts, the dreams that you haven't quite found the words to express yet, and you allow it to move through your hand and onto paper. And this is just the beginning of NeuroGraphica. You see, many people think that drawing is something that either kids do or artists do. And in fact, I was one of those people. And also many people think that they cannot draw or that it requires talent or some kind of special skills or years of experience. And definitely, I was also in that category. But there is now a different approach to drawing that changes how we work with our inner world and transform limiting beliefs. This method focuses on how the brain, the nervous system, and the subconscious respond to simple lines, shapes, and intentional movement. And it helps us move out of overthinking and into inner awareness. And what is especially powerful about this method is its simplicity. Even analytical, logic-oriented people are often surprised how simple and effective this process feels. Have you ever noticed that when you're really stressed, you can't think straight? Your mind goes in circles and you know the answer is somewhere inside you, but you cannot quite reach it. And this is your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do. When we feel overwhelmed or uncertain, our brain goes into this protection mode. The gate to our deeper wisdom closes. And NeuroGraphica is the key to open that gate. So what exactly is NeuroGraphica? Pavel Piskarev, who is the creator of this method, describes it simply and beautifully. NeuroGraphica is a simple and accessible graphical language of describing the world. Pavel Piskarev is a doctor of psychology and the founder of Psychology of Creativity Institute in St. Petersburg, Russia. This method is trusted by thousands of heart-led people all over the world, and it is based on 3 pillars: psychology, neuroscience, and creative expression. When it comes to psychology, it's all about becoming more aware of your inner patterns and gently reshaping how you relate to your thoughts and your emotions. Neuroscience, well, that's all about neuroplasticity. And we are engaging the formation of new circuits, allowing more new supportive pathways to form through the drawing experience. And in this process, of course, we are opening up a non-verbal channel of communication, of creative expression, where insight, emotion, and transformation can actually unfold naturally beyond the limits of thinking. So this is where the mind, the brain, and the creativity can integrate into a meaningful change. So we draw those special lines in NeuroGraphica. They're called neurolines. And in that process, something remarkable happens in your brain. A neuroline has 2 qualities that make it unlike anything that we've been taught in school. We take it where we don't expect it to go, and it never repeats itself on any section of its movement. And this freedom is intentional, because most of our lives we have been taught to stay within the lines, to be predictable, to repeat what is known and safe. And the neuroline gently begins to undo all of that, creating safety for taking a new step, for making a change in life. And with every stroke, your hand, your nervous system, and your subconscious mind begins to understand that it's allowed to move into the unknown. A good comparison would be if you were to take the same road home every single day. Perhaps there is a different road to come home, but your mind is used to this old pathway. even though perhaps it doesn't look so good anymore and maybe the road needs some fixing. And there's another road, a new road that is more beautiful, more pleasant to drive on. But because we're creatures of habit, we keep following the same old patterns. So if you begin to take different pathways home, it's kind of sending a signal to your mind that it's okay to change, it's okay to try something new, and it expands your neural circuits. Same with drawing that neural line. When we draw that neural line, it's like a gentle message to yourself, to your nervous system, to your subconscious mind, that it's okay to go in the direction that you don't know where it's going to lead, but it's going to lead somewhere good, because your goal is to create a drawing that actually feels good to you and to your nervous system at the end. So as your hand moves across the paper, your mirror neurons activate. These are the same neurons that fire up when we look at somebody who is smiling, laughing, feeling good, and we feel good too. These mirror neurons, they respond to our movement, to the flow, and to the pattern that our brain perceives on paper. And as that movement continues, our nervous system begins to calm. The protection mode eases and the gate of creativity opens up. And this is where clarity arises. But here's what makes it even more powerful. Look at these images that you see. The branching of a river delta, the surface of a leaf, our cells, our inner organs, the landscapes, the neurons. Do you see what they all have in common? They look like the lines that we draw. These are the patterns of life itself. The way our entire neural world organizes and creates itself. When our nervous system encounters these lines on paper, it recognizes them deeply inside, as if something in you remembers. And that recognition is the reason why this process is so powerful. You are drawing something that your body already knows. But it goes even deeper than that. The lines you draw on paper create corresponding pathways in the brain, right? Actual neural pathways, new ones. You can think of your brain like a beautiful garden, and your energy is like the water that is flowing through your garden. So if we have blocks in our mind that are presented by the limiting beliefs, fears, self-doubt, and so on, then the water is simply not going to be flowing to those parts of your garden. The energy is not going to be flowing there. As a result, we may set a goal to achieve something, but if we don't have that fertile ground to grow the fruits of our labor from, then no matter how much energy we try to put in a certain project, in a certain direction, if the energy is not allowed in those parts of the brain, then it's simply not going to be able to do anything with it. So with the help of NeuroGraphica, we are reshaping the way that our subconscious mind and our nervous system hold a belief, a limitation, or an intention. And because the nervous system shapes how we perceive reality, this directly affects what becomes possible in your outer life. In other words, we build a blueprint before we actually build the outer life. So here's how it actually works. First of all, we bring it out on paper. Our worries, our goals, our aspirations, and then we follow a certain algorithm, whatever is appropriate in the situation. And each algorithm follows 8 structured steps to take us deeper and deeper into our inner wisdom, into our inner desires, and the deeper connection to ourselves. And this page becomes a mirror of your inner world. Step number 2 is creating coherence. And yes, we are talking about the heart math coherence where we connect to our hearts, but it goes way beyond that because the structure of this NeuroGraphica method is designed in a way that it helps us create that coherence naturally. As we continue to draw, our nervous system is taken out of tension and into calm, and your attention is continuously navigated back to your emotional and physical reactions. The brain's analytical and creative hemispheres begin to work together in coherence. And from there, of course, clarity arises naturally. And step 3 is anchoring that aligned action, whatever needs to be done in the outer life, in a real life, not on the drawing. So your completed drawing becomes this visual blueprint, a powerful subconscious anchor for the direction that you are ready to move in. And by taking that micro action on paper, that creates an inner permission and putting in the seed in your mind that it's okay to take action in the real world. And those barriers are kind of fading away and giving you more freedom to act from your inner self. And I want to share with you some of the drawings that I have created. Every drawing looks different and it's intentional because in NeuroGraphica we work with a number of different algorithms, and each algorithm is designed to address a specific inner process, releasing what is heavy or activating a quality that you want to embody, as well as creating a blueprint for our new chapter. So you're moving through this structure with your intention, and each drawing becomes as a method of getting yourself to your destination. And the shift is the actual result. And one more thing. In NeuroGraphica, we have a saying, self-awareness is an act of self-love. And I want to be precise about the kind of awareness that we mean, because most of us have been taught a different version of it. We were taught to notice what is wrong with us, to evaluate, to critique, to improve. So our inner voice learned how to be a judge. And NeuroGraphica invites us to look at it from a different perspective. It invites us to notice with curiosity rather than verdict, to feel what moves through your body, through your mind, through your nervous system, and instead of labeling it good or bad, simply be with it. And then through the drawing process, gently harmonize it. And this is how we move out of autopilot, out of the old patterns that used to run our lives, and into the mode of a creator. And this is what NeuroGraphica is all about. So if something in you has been touched by what we explored today, I want you to know that this is just the beginning. At heartflow.life, I have created a space where you can go deeper at your own pace. There are free resources there, including guides and practices to help you deepen the understanding of NeuroGraphica and begin exploring it in your own life. You will also find explorations into the energy of the heart, because when we learn to work with the heart intelligence and not just the minds, something remarkable begins to happen in our lives. Our clarity sharpens, our actions become more aligned, and the results we create in our lives, in our work, in our relationships begin to reflect who we truly are rather than who we were conditioned to be. The heart is not just about feelings, and it's definitely not just a muscle. It's an energy field, and learning to work with it can exponentially shift what is possible for you. And in fact, your heart is the biggest energy generator in your body. So I invite you to visit heartflow.life and explore at your own rhythm and take whatever resonates. And if you feel the pull to experience this work in a live setting where we draw, where we breathe, where we do heart coherence in a community of other heart-led women, then I would love to welcome you to one of our upcoming workshops. The doors open. Come whenever you're ready.